What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live transfer update video. Shaw on tour is underway, people. We are out here on the west coast, LA, Kendrick Lamar settings. They not like us, they not like us. Hey, I've heard that song about 20 times. I've only been here a few hours. Listen, big up to everyone supporting the channel. Make sure you keep your eye on all the content I'm going to be doing over the next 10 days. We've got some media access, so hopefully we'll get to interview one or two players and so on and so forth, people. So keep it locked. Obviously I'm over here with the AFTV boys as well, so you see me over there on their vlogs and so on and so forth as well. So keep it locked there as well with Robbie and the gang. Listen, let's get into it, people. We've already been talking about transfers over here. We've already done some work over here. And we know the names that are on everyone's lips at the moment and who looks like they could be on their way to Arsenal and on their way out of Arsenal. The player at the moment that looks like he could be on his way out of Arsenal is Eddie Nketiah, people. Eddie Nketiah has apparently agreed personal terms. He's agreed personal terms to join Marseille over there in France. Marseille, of course, I've just sold Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, actually, former Arsenal player. He's gone to Saudi Arabia, and they're looking to bring in an attacking player to help replace his goals. They've just signed Mason Greenwood for 30 million euros, and they're now looking at a move for Eddie Nketiah. Listen, I think Nketiah's time is up at Arsenal. He is over here on the tour. But remember last season, Balogun toured America. We was all like, what's going on with him? He was then sold at the end of that tour to Monaco. And it looks like something could happen with Eddie Nketiah now. According to reports, Eddie is keen on the move, would be interested in a project at Marseille. Marseille, a massive football club in France. Very, very passionate and sometimes hostile fan base, so it's definitely a club you don't want to go and start messing around. You need to score goals, hit the back of the net. Now Marseille apparently want to offer a loan with an obligation to sign Eddie Nketiah next summer. It's believed Marseille looking to pay around £25 million. Arsenal looking for at least 30 million, despite the fact there were reports before Arsenal were looking for £50 million for Eddie. I think those reports are wide of the mark. I don't think Arsenal would get £50 million for Nketiah. Arsenal perhaps willing to take £30 million for Eddie Nketiah. Now, it's not ideal because, again, it's not a permanent deal this season, so the money's not going to arrive straight away. It would be a small loan fee, and then they finish that payment or start that payment from next summer. But at least it would be an obligation. You get his £100,000 a week wages off your back. You know you're going to get the 30 million starting from next summer. And we get that famous number 14 shirt back. No disrespect, Eddie, but, you know, we'd like to see maybe an absolute world beater of a striker wearing that number. But what do you guys think? You know, again, not ideal. It's a difficult market. But Man United did just get 30 million for Mason Greenwood, but they're looking at a loan with an obligation to buy for Eddie Nketiah. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let's talk about Merino, Spanish central midfielder. A lot of reports, Kike Marin, who knows a lot about Spanish football, reporting that Merino to Arsenal is very close. Apparently Arsenal have some sort of verbal agreement with Merino that he will join Arsenal. Now, Sociedad looking for around £30 million. He has a year left on his contract. He won the most duels of any midfielder in Europe last season, 358 duels won. Left-footed player, silky on the ball, knows Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard from his time at Real Sociedad. So, you know, there is a connection there. Mikel Arteta apparently has spoken to him personally to convince him to join the club. Merino, who played for Newcastle in the Premier League a number of years back, seems like he feels he's got unfinished business. They were saying at the start, does he want to come back to the Premier League? When he left Newcastle, a lot of the stories were that he wanted to go back to Spain, but obviously a move to Arsenal. He earns around £50,000 a week. Arsenal apparently willing to give him £100,000 a week 4-year contract. And we know money talks, people, as Dizzy Rascal once said, dirty cash, I want you, dirty cash, I need you more. So money talks, people. Merino to me would be a very good signing. He would offer balance to Declan Rice, maybe that left-footed Granit Xhaka replacement. Has power, has aggression, has quality on the ball. 28 years of age. It's funny, when I suggested Ivan Toney, a lot of people said 28's too old. Merino doesn't seem to be a problem, but then he would be a lot cheaper, you know, at £30 million. I think that would be a very smart signing. So let me know what you guys think about Merino. Let's hope that one gets closer in the next few days. Let's talk about the guy who looks like he's going to be the first signing of the summer in terms of the first team. That is Riccardo Calafiori. We talk about him all the time at the moment. They're getting this deal done. Again, what is holding up this is, again, Bologna are trying to reach some sort of agreement with FC Basel where they don't actually get the 50% sell-on clause that they were hoping to get. I don't see how FC Basel would renegotiate that when they have it in writing. But Bologna are obviously disappointed that they probably put that in his contract, and now, you know, they're going to have to pay maybe 25 million to them. But this deal's going to get done. Bologna went on their training camp yesterday, and Calafiori didn't travel with the group. He is going to probably join Arsenal over here in the US. That is the expectation, and hopefully we'll get to see him on tour, maybe in the second or the third game of this tour. The final bit of transfer news today involving Arsenal, and that is again being linked with Jules Koundé from Barcelona. Now this is an interesting one because Barcelona are looking to raise money to sign Nico Williams, a player that a lot of Arsenal fans would love us to sign, including me. But they're trying to offload one or two players. Players like Rafinha, apparently, although we always seem to get linked with him. But Jules Koundé, apparently, Barcelona may be willing to accept around £50 million for Jules Koundé. That would obviously be the cost of Nico Williams. The only thing with Jules Koundé, I'm kind of like, 50 million, and where are we going to play him if we get him anyway? We don't really need a right back. Does he get in at centre back? No, it seems an unnecessary 50 million. He would be a good squad player, and we do need strength in depth, but you know, I'd love to see Arsenal address that attacking area a little bit more, to be honest. So let's see what happens with that. A couple of quick stories. Victor Gyökeres scored a hat-trick in his return for Sporting Lisbon yesterday. Back from injury, he's been out for 6 weeks with this knee injury. He returned and banged in a hat-trick. Will Arsenal make a move for him later on in the window? We know he's got an 85 million release clause. Still, for me, think we need to sign a striker this summer if we are going to win the title. And the second and last bit of news, Eze was being linked yesterday with a move to Manchester City. A lot of Arsenal fans were panicking. A lot of Arsenal fans want Eze to Arsenal. But that was based on Kevin De Bruyne leaving Man City, and Pep Guardiola has come out and said Kevin De Bruyne will not be going to Saudi this summer. He expects him to stay for another season. His contract is up next year. Maybe De Bruyne's thought process is see out the contract at Man City, go to Saudi next summer, and you know, get that massive paycheck to sort of round up your career. So Eze to Man City may not happen. Arsenal still have an opportunity to make a move for him. But are they going to make a move for him? What are we going to do? Mikel Arteta did his first press conference of the tour yesterday. He said it's possible that Arsenal will get a new player while we're over here, but a lot of it is down to Edu. So let's see what happens. People, thank you very much for tuning in. Shaw on tour. We are back and we are in LA. We'll be at all 3 games of this US tour. The Bournemouth game is tomorrow. So I'll be doing a preview today down at the stadium. It's at the LA Galaxy Stadium. Manchester United at the weekend, and then Liverpool next week in Philly. Videos are a little bit later at the moment. I would love to get them out early in the morning, but LA is 8 hours behind the UK. So this is first thing in the morning, but it won't come out till the afternoon for you guys in the UK. Obviously, depending on what part of the world you're in. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Shaw on tour on the West Coast. The sun is out. And get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. And when I get in that Mikel Arteta press conference, I'm going to be asking you guys what question you think I should ask him. after the controversy surrounding the Mbappe one I asked last year. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time, people. Bless!